Hello, welcome back again. Yes, I'm back in the garden again. This is my second video. I'm talking about autism again. You know, it is my interest. But I'm now looking into myself. I've never been diagnosed with autism. I've never went for a diagnosis. I've never felt I've needed to or wanted to. Nobody's ever suggested it. But when I look back at my childhood and start looking at things a little bit deeper now than I used to, I can see little patterns and little things which I'm going to go into, which might resonate with a lot of people out there, to be honest. So going back to when I was really young, I think I had the MMR vaccine. I'm not blaming this mind, I'm just saying I had the MMR vaccine. I ended up flatlining, had an epileptic fit. I'm not putting that down to it, I'm just putting it in there. But my childhood was it was loving environment, you know, it was. I didn't have a lot of touch, as in like, you know, warmth of affection in cuddles and things like that, which a lot of families aren't that way inclined. Some are. I was very quiet. I had a little bit of a friend base, I did. Not too many though, maybe one or two friends. I was very shy. I would walk around with my head down at school, you know. I didn't really socialise much with people. If anything, too much people around me annoyed me a little bit. I would get a little bit annoyed. I wouldn't show any behaviours of concern or anything because I could escape. I would just go away, you know, sit in a corner, sit at the back, or sit in a place where I'm not right next to people if I could. That's quite common, normal, you know, anyway, I would say. I mean, I'm not saying that was a big issue to me at that time. But as I started growing up, you know, I would go to a local big shopping centre that got built near me. And I used to walk in and I was so paranoid of people looking at me. I was the bright lights, the big open space, the tapping of feet. I could hear people walking past me. I learned my way of blocking that out, of channeling something else into my head as I was walking, you know. I used to concentrate on how I would walk. I would watch my feet and think, how am I walking? Am I walking correctly? You know, I was getting quite paranoid in many ways. And over time, that's kind of escalated into other situations or environments where I felt uncomfortable. Even now, when I deeply think about it, if I'm in a big crowd of people I don't particularly know, I do feel a bit awkward. I would prefer to be standing outside somewhere, not dead close to people. If I'm in a restaurant, I can be focused on the person I'm with, talking, but I don't take in the detail of the conversation as easy as I would if we were in a quiet environment. I kind of pick up on clatter of plates in the kitchen. I might hear conversations from the table next to me, or even the table behind that, or behind me, and my mind kind of focuses on them things, but I'm also trying to hold a conversation at the same time. Another thing which you might even notice from the video, I'm not actually looking at the screen of my phone very much, which is quite strange because that's not a person, but I know that people may be watching and I don't know. It's a strange little thing I do. I'm like with people, I will sometimes look in the eyes for a very short amount of time. I might stare at someone's nose when I'm talking so they don't realise. And this has only been the last maybe 2 or 3 years I've actually just started noticing that myself. And then when I brought it up with people, they said, oh yeah, we've always noticed you don't look in our eyes. Now, I just feel really uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable when I do it. I have always took negative criticism quite badly, even though it is a positive thing in many ways. But I haven't took it great in the past. I've learned to cope with it and learned my coping mechanism to understand that it is actually positive as well. And on the opposite side, I don't like positive comments to myself. I don't like to be praised. I always feel a bit overwhelmed with it. I don't particularly enjoy it or take anything from it. I may a little bit feel, good in myself if I've done something well and somebody says, oh, that's great, or I might show a picture of something I've made or built and they'll go, oh, that's great, that. I will say thank you. But it is building up my self-esteem, and I do feel grateful for that. Another little thing that I tend to do, which I've realised as well, is I have got my own little routines here and there. They're not really strict routines, but if, for example, I have a coffee in the morning, same time roughly, I'll be sitting in my I've got like a little catio, we'll call it, because I've got cats, a little armchair, and I've got a log burner there. I'll be having a little coffee, maybe even have a smoke. Yes, I'm a smoker. And that's my little time, that little 20 minutes. And don't get me wrong, I love my pets, I love my dog, I love my cats. But if one of them jump on my lap and get the clothes stuck in, or they're trying to disturb my coffee drinking, I'll get a bit anxious, I'll start getting a little bit restless. If it gets broken and my mood changes, my mood will drop a little bit. I can't then walk away from there, go back and start that again. It had to be at that point in time, which can be a struggle. Loud noises, I actually quite like loud noises. I've got a motorbike. I've got a very noisy motorbike. There is certain noises I really don't like though, as in, the typical ones of a scratching on a chalkboard, or a constant tapping noise does irritate me. If I'm trying to do something and I get interrupted, as in listening to music, watching a film, in relationships, just for talking to other people, you find both of you are going to be watching this film together. The other person picks up the phone, starts messing around on Facebook, playing Candy Crush. And you're supposed to be, well, you're not supposed to be, but you're wanting to have this little experience together. Knowing that the other person isn't paying attention, it infuriates me. And I will say that, it really does. And I'll often stop it and say, are you going to watch? And try and get say, oh, I am watching. I said, well, then in my head I'm thinking, well, you're not, like, you're playing Candy Crush and whatever you're doing on your phone. But things like that do get to me a little bit. I can pick up on emotion quite easy with somebody. I've always been able to do that. I know when someone's unhappy, sad, or angry about something, and I can see it on the face, and then that makes me change, and I feel the same kind of feelings. It might not be as intense, but I will actually feel them. It's quite hard to explain, but I start feeling sad. I'll start getting angry because I feel like, why are you not telling me what's going on? But it's emotion of joy, happiness. What is joy? What is happiness? Does joy last longer than happiness? Is happiness just a quick little thing that you see? If someone gives you something nice, you buy something nice, is that the happiness? Is the joy having that for a long period? You've got a joyful life, you've got what you wanted, you've got a lovely house, everything's great. There's not many people in life that have happiness 100% of the time. There's always going to be something somewhere. Lucky them if they do, but it doesn't happen. Most people have ups and downs here somewhere in their life, and it's how you get out of it and how to get on with it. So autism, it's not a medical condition. It's not something you can cure. It's basically something that a lot of people mask, as in they'll act like other people, maybe dress like other people. They may go to the same clubs as other people, or youth clubs, or if they even exist anymore, but to try and be or feel accepted by peers, other people. I've kind of done that myself as well, many times. It's a way of just feeling inclusive with people, feeling that the society accepts you for who you are, even though you're not particularly showing the real you, which is a shame, because the real you is individual. You are the person, and I find anybody with autism, they're their own character. You are that person, and you have to just be yourself. It's difficult because others may judge you, others may, because there's a lot of people still out there that don't understand autism. They might just think, you're, I don't know, fussy, you're angry, or antisocial, there's lots of other things they could think. But it's not about that. It's be yourself. And the only way someone can be themselves is for others to learn and to understand what autism is. It's other people's sort of choice, and it's their concern to understand you. But anyway, I've just waffled on again, to some, but I hope some people might have seen some kind of familiarity in their life and know that there's hundreds and thousands and possibly millions of people out there who feel the same, who have had struggles growing up. And I wish you all the best anyway. Thank you. Bye.